This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
So good, so good, so good.
New fall arrivals are at Nordstrom Rack stores now. Get ready to save big with up to 60% off Vince, Kurt Geiger London, and more.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
Because there's always something new.
Join the Nordy Club at Nordstrom Rack to unlock exclusive discounts on your favorite brands. Shop new arrivals first and more. Plus, get an extra 5% off every Rack purchase with a Nordstrom credit card. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
This is Optimal Health Daily. Sample Rate: How the Fast Food Industry Hooks You and How to Reclaim Your Diet by Tyler Tervooren of Riskology.co. And I'm Dr. Neil. This is the podcast where I act as your very own personal narrator and read to you from some of the most popular health and fitness blogs online, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. Now, I'm sure you're excited to hear today's post, so let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. Sample Rate: How the Fast Food Industry Hooks You and How to Reclaim Your Diet by Tyler Tervooren of Riskology.co. Ah, fast food, the great American equalizer. Studies over the years show pretty much everyone eats it. Those that are older eat it. Young people eat it. Rich people eat it. Poor people eat it. Urban people eat it. Rural people eat it. Black, white, Hispanic, and Asian people eat it. Everyone eats it. And here's one more thing we all have in common. We wish we didn't. How did fast food become so prevalent despite our wanting the opposite? Well, the same way any bad or good habit is developed, slowly but surely. Over a long time, these businesses design themselves to serve a specific need, delivering quick, tasty food when life feels too hectic to devote time to eating. The fast food industry is one that relies on habits. They know if they can slowly but surely get you to eat their food more often, you'll be hooked, a lifelong customer, despite your inner protests. What's the science behind it all? Sample rate: the number of times in a given period you visit for your quick fix. As it increases, your habit gets stronger, more ingrained, and harder to break. But guess what? You can use this same concept against them, breaking your fast food habit and eating healthier. In fact, you can use it to break any bad habit or reinforce any good one. Here's how. How sample rate works. In a previous life, I operated an amateur recording studio. I liked to mess around with musical ideas, and I had a few friends who'd record their songs on my system. One rule in digital recording is this: always record at the highest possible sample rate. In simple terms, the sample rate determines how good your recording is going to sound, based on how much information is captured each second. With a high sample rate, lots of information is being recorded, and the sound is better. With a low sample rate, the opposite is true. Here's an example to make it easy to understand. Start counting, and snap your finger each time you say a new number. 1, snap. 2, snap. 3, snap. Got it? Okay, now double the speed of your snapping. So you snap when you count a number and once more before you count the next. 1, snap, snap. 2, snap, snap. 3, snap, snap. In the first example, you counted to 3 and snapped 3 times. In the second, you counted the same but snapped 6 times. Now think of those snaps as bits of information. This is how sample rate works. But what does this have to do with fast food and breaking bad habits? Everything. Low sample rate: why old habits are hard to break and new ones get abandoned. How do most people attempt to break a bad habit? The 30-day challenge is popular. You declare, I'm going to prove to myself I can quit eating fast food by completely abstaining from it for 30 days. Everything goes great for about 6 days. Then you get off work late, realize the fridge is empty, and you break down and head for the drive-thru. all of a sudden you feel like a failure. You didn't meet your goal. Not only that, now you've reinforced the belief that you're not actually able to go 30 days without eating fast food. So why try again? You already failed. So what happened here? 30 days was too long. You set your sample rate too low. High sample rate, the habit success you didn't even realize you had. So now you're sitting around feeling like a failure. You've given up on quitting fast food, and now you're thinking of the next 30-day challenge you can fail at. But wait, you've forgotten something very important. You didn't take into account that you normally eat fast food 10 times a month. That's once every 3 days. And because you didn't think about that, you never realized those 6 days you made it without heading for those golden arches, you actually represent 100% improvement from where you started. You didn't see this because instead of measuring your progress from where you are today, you measured it based on some infallible 30-day goal, a picture of you in the future. But the future was too far away. What if instead you raised your sample rate? What if you measured your progress every 3 days instead of every 30 days? If you had, you'd have seen you were actually quite successful. And even if you broke down and bought fast food every 6th day, you'd have seen over the same 30 days, you failed just 4 times instead of your normal 10 times. Pretty soon, fast food every 6 days is the norm, and it's time to make the next improvement. Fast food once every other week, then fast food once a month. Eventually, you get to the point where you hit the drive-thru once a year, and your body quickly reminds you why you gave that up long ago. Bottom line, the only way to make lasting changes. If you want to build strong, lasting habits in your life or get rid of deeply ingrained bad ones, the only way to go is slowly and deliberately. The 30-day challenge is a great exercise. I like to take them on often. But 30 days is an extremely low sample rate when you're trying to make a big change. If you mess up even once, you're toast. Your confidence is shot and you start to believe you're a failure. But by knowing your baseline and measuring often, you'll start to see you've actually made incredible progress. Soon enough, the 30-day challenge will be child's play. Trying to break a bad habit? Or trying to instill a new one? Raise your sample rate. This is science that changes lives. You just listened to the post titled Sample Rate, How the Fast Food Industry Hooks You and How to Reclaim Your Diet by Tervooren of riskology.co, and I'll be right back with my commentary. It can be difficult to find time to cook in the fall with busier routines, back to school, and shorter days. But no matter how hectic it gets, Factor makes it easy to stay on track and enjoy something comforting and delicious. They make it easy to support your wellness goals with a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices like salmon and shrimp without any extra cost. For the first time, try Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. If I wasn't already meal prepping weekly myself, it's what I'd use. Eat smart at factormeals.com/OHD50off and use code OHD50off to get 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's code OHD50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box, plus free breakfast for 1 year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Dr. Neil here for my commentary. So, you've probably heard me talking about how important it is to pay attention to the small wins. You know, those moments when you got in that quick 5-minute walk or swapped out one soda for sparkling water. Those little behaviors may not seem like much, but but they do make a difference. And today's author, Tyler, put an even better spin on these little wins, making note of those little wins regularly, not just once a month or even once a week, but making note of those little wins maybe every 3 days. Let's say you took 5-minute walks for 3 days straight. That's a win. You swapped out one soda for sparkling water for 3 days straight. That's another win. Made lunch and took it to work for 3 days straight. You guessed it, another win. See? Changing our habits doesn't have to be complicated. Small wins over time can make a difference. All right, that'll do it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thank you so much for listening, and especially all the way to the end. And I'll be back here tomorrow as usual. So I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.